Today's lesson, we will continue our group presentation. In the last meeting, we had two groups, and for today's meeting, we also have two groups for presentation. And for today's group, who will be the first? Whose group? Isabel, can you help me?
Oh, yes, sir. Group 3 and 4 today.
Okay. Yeah, group 3 and group 4. Wait a minute. I will check the list first. Okay, for the group 3, okay, who's the member of the group 3? Group 3? Hello, group 3.
Yes, sir.
Avianita, yeah,
Yeah.
Avianita. Okay, Avianita. Let me check the list of the group. Avianita. Avianti. Avianita or Avianti?
Avianita, sir.
Avianita. 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 And then Nasha, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nasha, Maulidia, Mela, and Adeline, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, group, Lydia group. Okay, this is for the third group. And for group 4, yeah. Group 4,
Yes, sir.
Zahra, yeah. Zahra,
Yes,
wait. Zahra, Konita, Adinda, Salwa, and Sahira. Is it
yes,
right? Okay.
sir.
So today's presentation will be delivered by Lydia's group and Konita's group. Yeah, Lydia's group will talk about gender equality, bridging the gap, and Konita's group will present the topic about the history of English become an international language. Okay. Uh, Today, as usual, we have 100 minutes. So it's already 8 minutes past. Yeah, we'll have 90 minutes divided by 2 in maximum. Each group will present about 45 minutes, yeah, in maximum. And each group will uh, organize, yeah, organize about the time of presentation. Okay, for the first, uh, I will give to Lydia's group. Okay, Lydia's group, are you ready for presentation?
Ready, sir.
Okay, I hand over to you, group 4. Okay, the floor is yours.
Sir, I have permission to share the screen yet.
Okay, you may. Yeah, group 4, you are still you still mute, yeah. Please unmute.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we are Group 3, consisting of me, Mela Selviana, as the moderator, along with my teammates, Afianita, Nasya, Maulidia, and Adele. We will be discussing about gender equality bridging the gap. This topic is very important because gender equality is not just about women. It also plays a big role in the progress of society as a whole. Let's start by understanding what gender equality is, which will be explained by Avianita. To Avianita, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. Here, I want to explain about what is gender equality. Gender equality means that all gender have the same rights, responsibilities, and opportunities in all areas of life, like education, work, politics, and more. Gender equality means that everyone, whether they are men or women, has the same rights, opportunities, and freedoms in every part of life. This includes having equal chance to get a good education, find a job, and take on leadership roles, while also being protected from unfair treatment, discrimination, or violence because of their gender. Gender equality is important, not just because it's the fair thing to do, but because it helps create a better world for everyone. When we treat everyone equally, we allow people to use their talent and ideas, which makes our society stronger, more creative, and more successful. It's about building a future where everyone has the chance to reach their full potential and contribute to the world. That's all I can say. I'll hand it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Avianita, for your amazing explanation. The next topic is about whether gender equality still exists today and some example of it. This will be explained by Maulidia. To Maulidia, the time is yours.
Thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. Next, I will discuss about does gender equality still exist? So friends, although we have made progress, it turns out that gender equality is still not fully achieved. Women still experience direct and indirect discrimination in the fields of education, employment, health, and other. I will tell you example of gender inequality that still occur. Number one, education. Women often receive less education than men. For example, there is an assumption that women do not need to go to high school because they will eventually become housewives. Number two, economic. In the world of work, women earn lower wages than men for the same work. In addition, women's positions are usually lower than men's. Number three, stereotypes. Society often gives negative stereotypes to women, such as the assumption that women are weak or unable to lead. Number four, double burden. It means women work outside of the house and also do household chores. Number five, violence against women. Physical, sexual, and psychological violence still common among women. For example, women experience domestic violence. That's all the explanation from me. I return it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Maulidia, for your clear explanation. From what we just heard, it's clear that gender equality still exists, and one example is in the field of education. Next, we will hear about the causes of gender equality gap. This will be explained by Nasya. To Nasya, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, of the opportunity. Sorry, it's fine because I'm not at home. Next, causes of gender equality gap. First one, um, the gender gaps occurs when women and men do not have equal opportunity in various as a cap of life. Why does this gap still exist? And first one, traditional view. Society of Society often has the view that women are better suited for housework. Women are better suited Women are better suited for jobs that require physical strength. Number two, discrimination. Women are often denied access to education, jobs, or important positions simply because they are women. Number three, violence. Violence against women limits their opportunity to thrive. Next slide. Number five, lack of access to education. Many women in the world cannot go to school, making it difficult to get good jobs. Number five, economic inequality. Women often earn less than men, even if they do the same work. And the last one, lack of political representation. Women are really leaders, so their voices are not heard. To achieve gender equality, we need to change traditional view, eliminate discrimination, prevent violence, ensure access to education, address economic inequality, and ensure women representation representation in political. Thank you. I read to the moderator.
Thank you, Nasya, for your explanation. After learning about the causes of gender equality gap, now we'll hear from Adeline about what efforts we or global can make to promote gender equality. To Adeline, the time is yours.
Thank you to the moderator for the opportunity. Here, I will explain the global efforts to realize gender equality. First, increasing the role of women in decision-making in government. This can be done by improving the representation of women in leadership positions at various levels of government. Second, increasing the number of women in economic activities or the labor market. This includes providing equal opportunities in education, training, and jobs, allowing women to become financially independent. Third, improving healthcare service for mothers and children. These efforts can reduce maternal and child mortality rates and improve the quality of life for families. Four, increasing laws and regulation that promote gender equality is an important step to ensure women's rights are protected in social, economic, and political life. Fifth, organizing education and other activities to raise gender awareness. The goal is to change people's attitudes and understanding about the importance of gender equality. And the last, creating policy frameworks that are proper and gender sensitive to make sure policies help reduce existing gaps, especially for women from poor groups. That's all I can say. I return it to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Adeline, for the amazing explanation. That was also the final material of our presentation as Group 3 today. Before we close, does anyone have any question? If you do, please feel free to unmute your microphone or type your question in the Zoom chat. We will wait for the next 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, group three have finished their presentation. It's time for Q&A session. Okay, any questions from the others? Okay, the topic is actually interesting about gender equality. It relates to our daily life. Yeah. So I hope that this topic uh, give more uh, questions, yeah, from the others. There are no volunteers for uh, asking question. I will call on someone. Yeah, be ready. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes for uh, thinking what questions that you may pose. Yeah, if after 2 minutes there are no questions uh, from audience, yeah, I will call on three uh, three students, yeah, for asking questions.
Uh, sorry, to Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunities. I like it so much the topic about gender equality. So thank you so much for the presentation. It's very good. I want to ask something. I heard I read about the global effort to realize gender equality, but I want to ask you about how can men actively contribute to gender equality initiative because men this generation, not all, but some men in this generation are still have that patriarchy mindset. So, how can men actively contribute to gender equality? Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for your question. Uh, I will discuss for my I will discuss with my team.
Group three, I think it's better for you to collect the questions first. After that, you may
Yes.
respond to the questions posed.
Zikri, if you want. Zikri, sorry, Zikri. Zikri, if you want ask question, please unmute.
Okay, thanks to moderator to give me permission to ask. I want to ask Team 3 about what is the role of every individual, government, and university students in realizing gender equality. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zika. Okay, in column chat, Raska asks about, in your opinion, what are the most significant challenges women face in achieving gender equality, and how can we collectively work to overcome them? And my team will discuss the answers. Sorry. Guys, sorry, give me 5 minutes. Okay, sorry for make you guys wait. For the question, it will be answered by Nasya and Maulidia. So Nasya and Maulidia, sorry, for the question will be answered by Pianita, Nasya and Maul.
Okay. I will answer the question about how individuals can help achieve gender equality, while my friends will explain the role of the government and campus. The first one is we need to change how we think and act by letting go of gender stereotypes and treating everyone equally, no matter their gender. The second one is we should learn more about gender equality and share what we know with our family, friends, or community. The last one is we can be part of the change by joining or supporting campaigns that promote gender equality. That's all from me. The rest will be explained by my friend. Thank you.
Okay, here I explain in the government. First one, creating and enforcing political that support gender equality. Example, the laws on equal pay, maternity leave for both men and women, and protective from gender discrimination. Number two, inter- in, integrating gender perspective into national political development development policy should consider impact on both men and women equality. Number three, profit gender empowerment programs. The government can support program for skill training, financial literacy, and economy empowerment for women. And the last one, promoting gender equality campaign, using media to spread the value of gender equality and combat stereotypes. Next, with my friend.
Here I will answer the role of the campus in realizing gender equality. The first one, creating a gender-friendly campus environment. For example, the campus provides anti-gender-based violence training for lecturers, students, and staff. And the last one, facilitating and supporting the reporting of gender violence. For example, the campus establishes a special unit to handle cases of sexual violence or gender discrimination. That's all our answer. Has it been answered, Zikri?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you for Avianita, Nasya, and Maulia. I will answer. Where question Oraska oh, bisa. About what are the most significant challenges women face in achieving gender equality? Is discrimination and stereotypes, access to education and opportunities, and workplace inequality, and how we can overcome this challenge is education and awareness. Education and awareness about gender equality, support policies ensuring equal pay and legal protections, and promote work-life balance through shared domestic responsibility. Is my answer. Terus Kak, kok nggak ada sih? And for Lily question, will be answered by Adeline. Adeline,
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Early, Lily asked about how men can contribute to gender equality, even though patriarchy still applies. Even in society that still follow patriarchy, men can contribute to achieving gender equality. First, support women. Men can support women in their careers, education, and daily life by giving equal opportunities and respecting their contributions. Second, be a good example. Men can show equality at home and in society by sharing household chores and taking care of children equally. Third, fight against gender discrimination. Men can speak up and take action against gender stereotypes and discrimination. Fourth, support fair policies. Men can support laws and policies that promote gender equality, both in the family and society and at the national level. That's all. Is it answered, Lily?
Okay, thank you so much, Adeline, for the answer.
All the questions have been answered. If you guys still have any question, feel free to contact us directly via WhatsApp. Before we officially close this presentation, let me summarize what we discussed today. Despite significant progress in recent decades, gender inequality still exists and is a global challenge that needs to be addressed. There are many reasons why gender inequality persists, and efforts are needed to ensure that women have equal rights and opportunities. That's all from Group C. We are sorry if there were any mistakes in pronunciation or when we answer the question. Thank you for your time and attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Group 3, for your insightful and excellent presentation about gender equality. Yeah, the topic is very interesting and it relates to our daily life. Yeah, I hope that gender equality is not only about concept, yeah, but also it's about our uh, daily activity, daily practical, yeah. Because in the explanation we see many aspects that we have to consider relating considering gender equality. Okay, good. Thank you. Good job. Yeah, group 3. Okay, we'll move to the subsequent group. Are you ready? Group 4.
Ready, sir.
Okay, Zahra, I hand over to you. Okay. Floor is yours. Take your time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Um, okay. Good evening, Mr. Tian and friends. Hope you all have a great day today. So, it has become commonplace for us to know that English is an international language where many international sectors use it. However, the topic of why English was chosen as an international language is rarely discussed by some people. For this reason, we from Group 4 want to present a topic about the history of English become an international language. Before we present our materials, let me first introduce our member. Please next slide, Salwa. So the member of the fourth group is Konita Kamila, Salwa Nisrina Salsabila, Adinda Keko Gania, Sahira Rajwana Daulay, and the last Dara. Okay. Next slide, Sal. So here's the table content of our materials. In general, the topic we want to present is the timeline of historical of English language from the 1st century to the current century and several important reasons why English is so used in the international world, such as the role of diplomacy until simplified in grammar. So just go straight to the main topic. Next slide, please, Hal. Okay, as a start, it is very important to know what an international language or what is global languages means. Through this slide, Salwa will explain to you about that. To Salwa, please explain about it to the others. So Salwa, the time is yours.
Okay. Thank you so much, Zahra, as the moderator, for giving me the opportunity to present the first topic. Everyone, I kindly ask for your cooperation in paying close attention so that the material I present, can be clearly conveyed to you. Thank you. Everyone, there is no official definition of a global or world language, but it is generally understood to refer to a language that is learned and spoken internationally. This language is characterized not only by the number of native and second language speakers, but also by its widespread geographical distribution. In addition, its importance is evident in its use across international organizations, global business, and diplomatic relations. A global language acts as a lingua franca, which means a common language that enables people from diverse linguistic and cultural backgrounds to communicate effectively. It helps bridge communication gaps between individuals who speak different languages, allowing them to interact on a more or less equal footing. This ability to facilitate communication is what makes a language global, as it connects people from various parts of the world, making international collaborations and exchange much easier. Alright, everyone, here is my presentation on the topic of what a global language is. I apologize for any shortcomings, and now I will return the floor to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Salwa, to explain so well about the meaning of global languages is. Okay, then we move on the next topic, namely regarding the historical timeline of the English languages. The timeline about history section is divided into three main points, namely the root of English is already 5th until 11th century, and the second timeline is a global reach, is it's start from 7th until 20th century, and the third is the 20th century superpower. For the first and second, the timeline, it will be present by Konita, and the last timeline, it will be present by myself. To Konita, I will allow you to present about the first and the second of the timeline. To Konita, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Zahra, for giving me the opportunity to present my material about the roots of English and global reach. So let's get a deeper dive into the evolution of English. The first one is Old English that occurred in 5th until 11th century. Old English emerged from the language of Germanic tribes, primarily the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes who invaded and settled in Britain during the 5th century. Old English was a highly inflected language, meaning that word endings changed to indicate grammatical function. This is quite different from modern English, which relies more on word order. Compared to modern English, Old English had a relatively limited vocabulary. The Viking invasions of the 9th and 10th centuries brought significant Scandinavian influence to Old English, enriching its vocabulary and grammar. The second is Middle English that occurred in 11th until 15th century. The Norman conquest of 1066, led by William the Conqueror, introduced Norman French as the language of the ruling class. This had a profound impact on the English language, leading to the influx of French words, particularly in areas like government, law, and cuisine. Over time, the complex inflectional system of Old English began to simplify, making the language more analytic. This means that word order became more important in conveying meaning. Middle English was characterized by significant regional variation. Different dialects emerged, leading to diverse forms of the language. The last one is early modern English that occurred in 15th until 17th century. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century played a crucial role in standardizing the English language. Printed books helped to establish a common written form, reducing regional variations. A major sound change, known as the Great Vowel Shift, affected the pronunciation of English vowels during this period. This shift significantly altered the sound of the language. The Renaissance, a period of cultural and intellectual rebirth, led to the borrowing of many words from Latin and Greek. This expansion of vocabulary enriched the language, particularly in academic and scientific fields. William Shakespeare, a prominent figure of this era, is often credited with shaping the English language. His plays and sonnets popularized many new words and expressions, contributing to the development of early modern English. Next slide. So the next is global reach that occurred in 17th until 20th centuries. The first point is the foundation of linguistic legacy. The 17th to 20th centuries mark a period of unprecedented expansion for the British Empire. As the sun never set on this vast dominion, the English language was carried to the far corners of the globe. From the shores of North America to the island of the Pacific, English became a language of commerce, culture, and power. Second is colonial tapestry. The British Empire established colonies and trading posts across the globe, including in North America, the Caribbean, Africa, Asia, and the Pacific regions. In these territories, English was often imposed as the language of administration, education, and law. This led to the widespread adoption of English as a second language, particularly among the educated elites.
The third is the language of power and prestige. As the language of the ruling power, English became embedded in the institutions and cultures of these colonies. It was used in government, education, and the legal system, solidifying its status as a language of power and prestige. This linguistic dominance continued even after many colonies gained independence, as English remained the language of international diplomacy, business, and science. The fourth is the Industrial Revolution and the rise of English. The 18th century marked the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid technological advancement and economic growth. Britain, at the heart of this revolution, established English as the language of innovation and industry. As British inventions and technology spread across the globe, so too did the English language. The last is a global language of science and technology. The Industrial Revolution fueled a surge in scientific research and technological development. English became the lingua franca of the scientific community as researchers from around the world published their findings in English language journals. This trend continues today, with English remaining the dominant language of scientific discourse. That's all from me. I apologize for any shortcomings. I return it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Thank you, Konita. Next, please. Okay, next period of history about English is 20th century superpower. In the century, the United States began to show its power as a great nation. After the First and the Second World War, the United States emerged as a leader in various sector of life, such as military, economic, and culture in this era. As the ruler of civilization at the time, of course, this was a great opportunity for the U.S. to spread its language in this sector. Through the cultural sector, for the example, there are so many television shows using by English, which are widely spread and known on the global. Apart from that, in the international trade sector, the United States dominates the sector, which of course result in the use of English as the language of the rulers in that era, which was certainly very necessary for able to communicate and carry out transactional activities well. So that's all about the history from the root of English until the 20th century superpower. Okay, next. So we move on the another topic is the reason why English is chosen in international languages. To the point to the slide is the role of diplomacy. The role of diplomacy, it will be present by Adinda Keiko. To Adinda, I allow you to present it.
Thank you, Zahra, as the moderator, who has given me the opportunity to convey my topic. English has solidified its role as the dominant international language in various fields, including diplomacy. The status stemmed from its widespread use, historical influence, and adaptability. Here are the key ways English play a role in diplomacy. The first, primary language for multilateral communication. English serves as the working language in international organizations such as the United Nations, NATO, ASEAN, and the World Trade Organization. It allows diplomats from diverse linguistic backgrounds to communicate effectively, reducing potential misunderstanding. Two, standardization in agreement and treaties. Many international treaties, agreements, and resolutions are drafted and negotiated in English. Even if translated into other language, the English version often serves as the definitive text in case of dispute. 3. Ease of access to global resource. English provides access to a wealth of academic, political, and cultural resources. Diplomats and policymakers often rely on this resource for research, training, and understanding global trends. 4. Facilitating cross-cultural understanding. As a common linguistic ground, English helps bridge cultural difference. It enables diplomats to engage in meaningful dialogue and negotiate solutions to conflict. Uh, all right, here is my presentation on the topic of the role of diplomacy. I will return the floor to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Adinda Keiko, to explain about this slide. Next slide, Sal. The another point of reason it will be present by Sahira. So Sahira, I allow you to present it.
Thank you, moderator, for giving me the opportunity to present this material. Why has English become an international language? One reason is that the internet is originated in USA, which positioned it as a global leader. English is widely used in technology and science, ensuring its continued importance today and in the future. Next slide, please. As we all know, most scientific journals, textbooks, and academic publications are written in English. Leading universities worldwide, particularly in the UK and in the US, use English as their primary medium of instruction. This has made English a cornerstone of global education. With that, now I return the session to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Sahira, to explain about the reason of diplomacy. Please, next slide, Sal. Okay, the another point of a reason why English is chosen to become an international languages is the economy and global trade. It will be present by Arinda Keiko again. To Arinda, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Zahra. English dominates in international business. This happened because of globalization and the expansion of trade. There are several rules of English in the global economy and trade. First, standardization of and clarity. For contract and trade document, English ensure clarity in contract, bills, and custom forms, reducing dispute. 2. Global finance market. Banking and currency trading used extensively in stock markets, investment banking, and currency exchange. 3. Business communication. Corporate interaction is email, reports, and meeting in multinational companies often use English. 4. Supply chains, management, and logistics. English facilitates global supply chains and shipping operation. 5. Technological innovation, research and IT, dominant in global research, programming, and tech development. All right, here is my presentation. I will return the floor to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Arinda Keiko. Next slide, please, Sal. Okay, the next point is simplify in grammar. It will be present by Salwa. To Salwa, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Zahra, for giving me the opportunity. Alright, everyone, now I will present the next reason, which is the simplicity of grammar. One of the reasons English has been widely adopted as an international language is its relatively simple grammatical structure compared to many other languages. While English does have complexity such as irregular spelling and idiomatic expressions, its grammar is more straightforward. Let me explain why. First, English does not assign gender to most nouns. This is different from languages like French or Spanish, where every noun is either masculine or feminine. For example, in French, la maison means the house, and in Spanish, la casa means the same thing. Not, notice how the articles and even adjective must agree with the noun's gender in those languages. But in English, this complexity is eliminated. You just say the house, and adjective like big remain unchanged. You can say big house or big car without worrying about gender. This naturally makes English simpler for speakers of gender languages. The second, English verbs are easier to conjugate compared to many other languages. Let's take the verb to eat as an example. In the present tense, it's the same for most pronouns like I eat, you eat, we eat, they eat. Only the third person singular changes slightly, like he eats, she eats, or it eats. Now compare this with Spanish, where the verb change for every pronoun. Like yo como means I eat, or to comes means you eat. This kind of complexity in verb forms doesn't exist in English, making it much easier to learn. Okay, that's all for my presentation on the final reason why English become a global language. I apologize for any shortcomings, and now I will return to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Salwa, to explain it. So it's the reason why English is chosen in international languages. So next slide for the next topic. Okay, friends, this slide it will be present to you about interesting fact about the English languages. There are point, uh, 3 point about interesting fact about the English. First, global reach. English is spoken by 1.5 billion people worldwide, including 400 million native speakers. It is an official language in 67 countries and widely used in 27 others. And the second fact is a borrower languages. English has borrowed over 80% of its vocabulary from the other languages. For the example, the word of alcohol, it from the Arabic vocab. And the second example is a ballad. It from French vocabulary. And the third for the example word is a typhoon. Uh, is a vocabulary from Chinese. And the third fact about the interesting of English is the words will multiply meanings. English words often have multiple meanings. For the examples, the word that has over 400 definitions. Okay, friends, we have finished our presentation regarding the history of English as an international language until interesting fact about the English. For the others, do you have any question? If you have a question, please raise your hand and turn on the mic. turn. Please raise your hand and turn on the mic. I will wait until 5 minutes again. Thank you. Okay. To Jostra, the first is Jostra Brian. To Jostra, I will allow you to turn on the mic and give your question to my group. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Moderator Sarah, for allowing me to speak. I would like to ask a question. In the present day, there are several types of English proficiency tests, such as IELTS, TOEFL, and TOEIC. Each tailored to specific purpose, such as education, employment, or other needs. However, why do we need different kind of tests? Wouldn't it be sufficient to have just one official test that cover all these purposes? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Josra, for the question. Then we move to Lintang Ayuza. To Lintang, I will allow you to turn on the mic and give your question to my group. Thank you.
Well, Zara, thank you for the opportunity. Maybe my question is a little bit out of the topic, but as we know that we are seldom to using English in daily life, and we also know that using English in daily life can improve our skills and have a positive impact to us. But on the other hand, we have a national language, aka Bahasa Indonesia. So that my question is, do you think the increasingly dominant of using English in daily life can threaten the existence of the national language as a cultural identity? So that's my question. Did you get it, guys? Thank you.
Okay, very good question, Lintang. Thank you. And then we move to Alif Bagas Wicaksono. So Alif, please turn on your mic and then to speak your question to my group. Thank you.
Thank you, Zara, for allowing me to asking. From your presentation, it can be concluded that the development of English language was partly caused by World War One and Two. So my question is, would English language still be an international language if America or English or Allied bloc lost the war? Thank you.
Okay. Oh, there are Nandita to raise hand. Okay, to Nandita, I will allow you to turn on your mic and then speak your question to my group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zahra. I'm sorry for I cannot turn on my camera because of my unstable internet connection. I have a question for Group 4. Yeah, as we know, English is currently a global language. But Mandarin is increasingly showing characteristic of a global language. So what do you think about that? And do you believe Mandarin or Chinese could replace English as the global language in the future? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nandita. All the question it will be discussed by the group. Please give me time to answering the question. Thank you. Okay, test. Okay, for Jostra's question, it will be answering by Sawa. To Sawa, the time is yours. Sorry, I will answering the Alif questions first. So the Alif question is the why America is a loss in worldwide. The English is and become international languages. Okay, if England or America had lost the war, English dominance would likely have diminished. The world's dominant language will depend on who wins, such as, for the example, German, with German or Japanese, such as German. So the language with German or Japanese, so the language with Japanese in the context of World War II. To Alif, if I to Alif, is my answer is answered your questions.
Yeah, thank you for the answer, Zahra.
Okay, thank you for the response, Alif. Okay, next to the Lintang's questions, it will be answering by Sahira. To Sahira, I allow you to answering Lintang's question. Thank you.
I will answer Lintang's question about whether the use of English can threaten the national language. The growing use of English can affect the national language if not managed well. However, by supporting bilingualism, strengthening national language education, and using it in daily life, the national language can still be preserved as part of cultural identity. Is that clear?
Okay, Zahira, thank you for answering my question.
Okay, next to the Joestar's questions. Joestar questions will be answered by Salwa. To Salwa, I allow you to answering the Joestar's question.
Okay, Zahra, thank you. Now I want to answer just a question, but before that, I want to double check if just a question is correct. Just a question is wait. Okay. Um, a single test wouldn't be able to cover all these diverse needs effectively. Each test, oh yeah, each test focus on different skills and contexts, making it more relevant and accurate for the intended purpose. Therefore, multiple tests allow for better precision in assessing English proficiency on. Sorry. Wait a minute, Justra. Okay, sorry, my bad. The question of Justra is why do we need different kinds of tests? Wouldn't be sufficient to have just one official test that covers all this purpose? That's correct, Justra?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I will answer.
Okay, thank you, Salwa, to answering the Jostra's question. And then we move to Nandita's question. The Nandita questions is answering by Konita. To Konita, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you,
Sorry,
Zahra.
Zahra. I haven't answered the Justra question. I haven't answered the Justra question.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Now I will answer. We need different English proficiency tests because each test is designed for specific purpose. For example, IELTS is used for academic and migration purpose, and TOEFL focus on academic English for higher education, and last TOEIC is tailored for business and workplace communication. And a single test wouldn't be able to cover all these diverse needs effectively. Each test focuses on different skills and contexts, making it more relevant and accurate for the intended purpose. Therefore, multiple tests allow for better precision in assessing English proficiency based on specific goals. Okay, Justra. Um, Is that clear?
Okay, that's enough to answer my question. Thank you, Salwa.
Okay, thank you, Justra. Sorry for my mistake.
Okay, thank you, Salwa, and so sorry for my mistakes. And then we move to Nandita's question. It answering by Konita. To Konita, the time is yours.
Okay, so Nanita's question is now English is the international language, but Mandarin or Chinese also rising. In the future, will English will be replaced to Mandarin as the international language? So our team's answer is while Mandarin or Chinese is undeniably rising in global influence, it's unlikely to fully replace English as the international language anytime soon. Because English is already widely used in business, academia, science, technology, and international relations. And also, English speaking countries have a significant cultural impact through media, entertainment, and education. Uh, and also, Mandarin language is very complex, especially in the writing system, can be a barrier for non-native speakers. And also, Mandarin has various dialects which can complicate communication. So for the newbie, it's more easier to study English than Mandarin. Is our answer clear, Nandita?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you, Group 1.
Thank you, Nandita.
Okay, group 4, all the questions have been answered, and you may close your presentation. Hello, group 4.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Okay. All the questions have been answered.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's time for you to close the presentation.
Sorry, sir. I think Zahra's internet is in a in a bad situation, so I will replace Zahra's position as a moderator. So that's all from Group 4 for our material. The topic is the history about English became an international language. That's all from us. Thank you for your listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Group 4, for your informative presentation about the history of English language become international language. Okay, let's give a big round of applause of our presenters. Yeah, today very, very good presentation, nice presentation. The first and the second group presentation were uh, excellent for today's presentation. Okay, that's all for today's meeting. Okay, next week we'll have other two group presentation. I hope that the group that will make good preparation. Okay, better than today. And next week it will be in-person meeting. Yeah, we will have meeting in campus. Okay. Thank you for your attention. Okay, see you next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. See you.
Salam.
Yes, sir.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.